Howdy folks, how are y'all doing? My name is Rees and welcome back to the Minecraft 2025 Let's Play Adventure! Where in the previous installment we went on a grand expedition to the south to locate a swamp. We kind of found two of them now that I'm looking at it. They are not connected. Well, no, this is... No, yeah, look, there's a birch forest. Birch forest in the middle. Very cool discovery. We needed slime, though, so that we could build a sand duplicator. And today, I think we are ready to build that sand duplicator. I've got a few different guides that all basically show the same thing. We're going to need slime. I'm going to shout out the primary guide that I'm using this time around, because even though I found a lot of very similar designs, I did pick one that I liked the best this time. Sometimes it's hard in Minecraft. Sometimes, you know, it's everyone's building the exact same thing and you're like, well, who actually originated this design? Does anyone deserve a shout out for it? Today, someone absolutely does. So we need to make sure that we have everything we need here before we head over to the end portal. And I'm trying to remember what all we need. Definitely going to need some bone meal. And a couple of bone blocks is the easiest way to transport a large amount of bone meal. And then we're going to need pistons. And this time around, they actually need to be of the sticky variety. I was trying to see whether or not we had pistons. I thought it was possible we did. We have a couple of sticky ones that we stole from a fortress at one point. We're also going to need repeaters. I need to re-watch the tutorial real quick, because I can't remember the exact counts, and I'd rather not bring a bunch of raw materials. I'd like to go ahead and bring exactly what we're going to need and just get it knocked out. So let me check. Okay, so this guide is from BlazedMC. Great username. Raises some questions. Could be taken out of context. But the video is easy gravity block duper in Minecraft Java. So it'll do sand, gravel, concrete powder, scaffolding maybe? Anything with gravity, I believe, it should work on. Possibly even anvils, maybe dragon eggs. I don't know. We're building it for sand. Oh, and we will have to break the ender portal frame, which apparently is patched in 1.21.5, which we're not on yet, but I have checked, and we're close. There's only like a couple of mods that need to be updated, and I might be able to find alternatives for them. So I'm thinking maybe May 1st, we update, you know? Maybe turn of the month we get the brand new version. That would be fun. I would very much like that, but we'll have to just kind of wait and see. All right, I've got the item list pulled up here, and we are going to need, it looks like, so for some reason, he's got 17 blocks of leaves, and I've watched the video a few times. I think he just uses them as a building material, but we'll get some leaves just in case. But we'll need a mushroom. I'm bringing 2, but we only need 1. We need a piece of dirt and some bone meal. Okay, we need 3 of the redstone repeaters, some chests, some hoppers. I think the minimum is 2 each. A lever, I've got that. At least 2 redstone torches and 9 redstone. This video will be linked in the description, by the way, and if it's not, comment. I just forgot to put it there. I'll add it. Dirt, carpet, a couple of carpets, and 5 sticky pistons, some type of build material. I think he's using smooth stone. I'm going to use quartz blocks. And 6 of the slime blocks. So there we go. Guess we didn't quite need as much slime as I ended up getting, but it'll be nice to have in the future because you can do a lot of really cool stuff with slime, and now we know where to go farm it if we need to. Although we could just find a slime. We could go find a slime chunk somewhere around these parts underground and just set that up for mining, which we might do. One good night's rest later, we won't have to deal with gosh darn sky demons anymore. And then as for leaves, I don't think they're necessary, but I figure I'd rather take them and be wrong than not bring them and realize we do need them. And also, I'm going to store everything that we need for this build inside of this chest right here. So we just have it with us inside of there. And then I was also going to get the shears out. And we'll fly over here. And I don't think the leaves are necessary. I might be misremembering. I'm going to kind of watch the guide through again as we go. But I figure we'll go ahead and bring some with us just in case. And this is what we have. That doesn't matter, right? Because we're going to cut these trees down eventually anyway. These trees are for exclusively harvesting. All right. Now we are ready to head through the nether portal. which is one of those things that we're supposed to decorate before the end of the month that we might get around to. We also need to reconfigure a lot of the portals in the end, because they don't face the same directions in the end that they do in the overworld, and that can lead to confusion. So we either need to rotate this one, 90 degrees, or rotate the one in the overworld 90 degrees. I don't know which. Probably this one. You know what? This has nothing to do with what we're currently doing. But if we do it now, then we don't have to do it in the future. It'll be done. And we don't have to think about it anymore, right? So there we go. Do I not have... Oh, I do. Thank goodness. I had that brief moment. I don't know. I wouldn't have panicked. It's fine. We can just go out the other portal down there, and it would have been fine. But there's the one home. Probably need to bring, like, markers for these as well. Wait a minute. Here we go. For some reason, we leave torches on them. I don't know what the torches are meant to accomplish. But there we are. It gets so red when you cross over that border. This one also needs to be rotated. This one doesn't have slabs or torches on it. It should. The slabs... Oh, no, it does on the... Well, hold on. No, it needs them across the top. Did that one over there... Did it have it across the top? Did I put them back? They're supposed to, because mobs can spawn up here. They can spawn on blocks on the roof. Like, they can't spawn on the bedrock itself, but they can spawn on other blocks. That's what the slabs are for. And oh boy. Frame rates are a-chugging right now. Choo-choo, baby. Why are they chugging right now? Are we generating new distant horizons? We shouldn't be. I've been here before. There's actually no reason for it to be chugging. I don't understand what the issue is. Oh well. Through we go, and now that we're facing this way, when we go through the portal, we should be facing the same direction. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Isn't it beautiful when you fix stuff? So, apparently, the method by which you break this is broken in the latest version of the game, which is unfortunate. But it's good to know, because if we want to go ahead and remove all 4 sides, I suppose now would be the time to do it. But we actually have to break everything down here under the portal, and we need to open up at least one area of this room to be quite a bit larger, more spacious. Strange way of phrasing all of that, but I stand by it. I guess we'll dig this room out, or this wall out, I should say, a few blocks. There is a recommended amount. I don't remember what it was. And I'm charging ahead recklessly without checking. By the way, there is a new method that you can use to break the portal frame. Apparently, it is imported directly from Bedrock Edition, and it works fine, whatever the Bedrock method is. I don't know what the Bedrock method is, and I'm not going to bother checking. We're getting this done now. It kind of makes me wish we'd started this series a few years ago, when you could do sort of crazy broken enchants in the game, before they patched the enchanting system. And then that way we could carry those tools over with us into this version. But we're too late. We're too late. We didn't start this series until recently. So that's not going to work. Unless we go back and we create them in an older version. Oh. And then copy over the user data with those items in our inventory. I mean, at that point, you might say, Rees, isn't that just the same as spawning the items in? Why don't you just spawn them in? The difference is, one is blatantly cheating, and the other one is like a clever workaround, right? If we start up our character in an older version of Minecraft, and we do the work to get a villager down to super low rates, right? Like 1 emerald trades, and then we somehow import that villager, well, that's not cheating. That's just, that's just grandfathering him in. Same thing if we take our character, right, and then we go back to an older version and we work to get those crazy enchants, like with all the enchants on it in some sort of broken way, and then we just copy that save over. We haven't cheated that weapon in. We haven't scammed the system in any way. We've just taken advantage. We've grandfathered that character's play file in. I like this idea. I like this concept. So this Blaze fella goes 5 rows in, or 5 blocks in, when breaking the walls. And yeah, we might want to pretty all this up later, but we're not worried about it for right now. This does the job. And the roof needs to be 6 blocks tall, which it currently is not. So now here comes the part where we actually end up breaking the portal frame, which I've never done before, and it kind of freaks me out a little bit, but we're going to use a mushroom to do it. So you go out 2 blocks from under there, 2 blocks down, throw down our dirt, as well as our mushroom. I haven't picked which one we're going to use for this. I don't know if it matters. In the video, Mr. Blazed uses a red one, so I suppose we aren't going to rock the boat. We're not going to rock the boat, baby. We're not going to rock the boat or tip the boat over. We're going to use a red one as well. Oh, I was going to say this isn't working. Nope, it worked just fine. If I break this thing with fortune, do we have like a better chance of like getting mushroom drops? It looks like axe is the tool you want to use, so if it was going to work, I guess it would have, and it kind of did. I mean, we got 19, never mind, it worked quite well. 19 red mushrooms, not too bad. Get rid of that mushroom stem as well, and we should probably patch the floor. So I got quartz blocks because I quite like the look of them, and we have a lot of them and we don't use them, so this is going to be sort of our main building material here for this endeavor. I did not mean to break the floor further, but there you go. And yeah, if you walk into that from the side, you'll go to the end. Eventually, I'll break all 4 sides because who knows if this, gets tricky to do in the future. Might be nice to have just a single bare portal here. That looks trippy though, doesn't it? All right, I'm going to try to follow this guide as best I can, and if you can't follow along at home, honestly, link in the description. Go watch the guide yourself. BlazedMC's done a great job with this one. So block, I think, right there, actually under the thing itself. And then we will need our sticky pistons on top. And then 3 pieces of redstone. Break this block, this block, this block. Then a redstone repeater there. 1, 2, 3 ticks. And I think redstone there and there. Quartz on top of there. Redstone dust. Repeater. Block. Oop, did not mean to do that. Reset that. Block. Yeah. And then need the redstone torches. So one of our torches is going to go there, as well as a torch on top. And that's it for the redstone torches. And then our second sticky piston right there. Now at this point he starts building with leaves as scaffolding, which I think is why he's got the leaves in the first place, and why I didn't think that we needed them, but we got them just to be on the safe side. But I'm going to use scaffolding to do that and that. Then we need a redstone repeater there, set to 1 tick, and yeah, like that. With a block out in the front of it like that. This looks convoluted, but that's only because it's redstone, and it is. We do have to put redstone on top of that, though. Gotta have redstone up here, too. Then finally a block out in front of that. If I can figure out where the... Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Right in front of that. Yeah, I would have never figured this out on my own. Now, the actual mechanism that makes all this work is a lever right here. It's not... Nope. No, not at all. Clearly, I've done something wrong. I don't know what. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Okay. There we go. That's it. Yeah, that... Very important right there, that piece. But there you go. That's it. And then you can turn it off when you're done. Now we actually have to do the part that makes the sand go into the end. So that's going to be 3 sticky pistons facing straight down. Like so. And then this is where we finally need our slime blocks here. So 3 of them right here. And then 3 more right here. Oh my gosh, we do actually need the leaf blocks. Okay. Alright, see, it's a good thing we went and got these. It looks like we only need like 3 of them though. And where we put them is got to be like here on top of this redstone. I'm assuming the type of leaf block you use doesn't matter. I wonder why leaves. Is it because redstone signals will pass through leaves, whereas they won't pass through solid blocks? I don't know if that's true or not. I feel like it probably is. Comment down below, let me know. Didn't bring sand! It's the thing we're here to duplicate. I didn't bring any. That's important. We had leaves here to begin with. Oh man, I gotta go back and get sand now to actually test this thing. Alright, that's fine. That's a minor inconvenience. A minor issue. I don't actually know how much sand we need to start with. I'd assume... Right, we have none. I forgot. We use literally all of it on Dead Bull Island. We will collect a few pieces here. It's fine. It's all for the greater good. How many is that? 12? Let's go with 16. It's a good Minecrafty number. Uh-oh. 17? Even better, quite honestly. But I think we only need 3 pieces to get started. So I think to get this started, all we have to do is set the sand on these 3 pieces, and then flip the switch. Now, this doesn't look like it's doing anything. But I think it is. We'll have to go into the end to find out. And before we do that, let's use our noggins. And let's set our sleeping point. Let's set our spawn point here. So, we'll come back here. And then we'll head in. And we'll see if there's sand here. There is sand here. Was it all against this wall? Was that all sand? It looked like it was all against this wall. That's important. Because we got to set up a mechanism for collecting it, because you can only have so much on the ground, as we've learned previously, before it starts to despawn, and we definitely need to have a method of collecting it. But let's go back and turn it back on, let it run for a bit. Let's start off with no sand in our inventory, so we can get a really good idea of how much sand we're getting with this thing running. And what I'm going to do, 0 sand in my inventory, and in fact, I'm going to empty out most other things into the loot box here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab these, because these are necessary. And I said I'm gonna empty out everything else. I mean, like, these objects that we're definitely not going to need, I don't think, for the rest of the build when we go to the end. I'm going to get a stopwatch, and I'm going to let this thing run for exactly 60 seconds. Except it won't be. It'll be right around 60 seconds, because I'm not going to be able to start and stop on the exact timer. Who cares? 3, 2, 1, go! If it's off a fraction of a second, that's fine. Did it break? Hold on, it broke. Apparently that can happen sometimes, and you just reset it and it should work just fine. 3, 2, 1, go! There we go. It's working now. I think every time it completes this cycle, that should be 3 of them tossed into the end, and we need to pay extra close attention when we jump through this time about where all of this is landing. Because that's going to be important, again, if we want to set up a collection system. They should all be rocketing towards a particular direction, and we need to be mindful of that. So as of right now, we are right at 30 seconds. Halfway there. There we go. Longest minute of my life. In we go. They are all... It actually kind of looks like it's launching them into the corner here, which is odd. Okay, so in about a minute, we got 2 and 2 1/3 stacks. If it's launching them in this direction, then I guess this is where we need to build the collection mechanism. Extra careful not to fall off the world here. I think we'd be okay. We have the ability to fly and all, but take no risks, right? So the way that our guy's doing it is he's having the chest be right here, right? And it's a double chest, and how am I supposed to place that? I gotta get beneath this thing somehow. Well, I mean, I say somehow like it's gonna be some great epic feat. Check this out, right? Little hallway. Come over here. Just like that. We're underneath it. Pardon? Why is there machine gun fire? Okay, remember, anything placed on this surface will be removed if you you log out or anything, so you don't want that to happen. But... here we go. Double chest. Couple of hoppers going into the double chest, if you can manage it. Barely. And then, once more, leaves are coming into play. You gotta build a wall around it with leaves, which makes sense, because leaves can actually be put on top of a chest, I'm pretty sure, and the chest can still open. Yeah. Okay, I think mine's a little bit taller than he ended up making his, but there you go. And then, the last thing we need is actually... he sticks a couple carpets on top of there, which I did not bring with me. So let's go grab those. If we wanted to leave this thing running for a really long time, I think we'll probably need more than 2 hoppers and a double chest. But for now, let's grab the carpets. And I don't think this thing will run when we're not here without some sort of chunk loader, which he shows how to build. Oh, stop. Is that going to happen every time I turn it off and back on? Maybe I need to get in the habit of resetting the sand each time. Let's go ahead and turn that on. And we'll just let it run. And we'll leave this sand back here so we don't have any in our inventory. Yeah, so he, at the end of his tutorial, makes a chunk loader. If that's something you're interested in, you can, by all means, again, click the video link in the description. Maybe that's what the carpets are for. That would certainly make a lot of sense. Yeah, because they can't drop onto... Right. Okay. Back to the overworld. As soon as we load back in, that thing's going to start running again. So what I'm going to do is a full 5-minute test, right? Because we don't know, it might have done more before if we... Hold on, I gotta sync this right when I hear the noises. It should be running right now. It is. Okay, good. I've got it set for 5 minutes. I am going to eat a cooked mutton. I'm going to leave the sand that I've already got in my inventory here. And in 5 minutes, we'll go back. And we'll see what we're looking like. But I'm just going to let this thing run. I don't know. Push up something. Alright, that's right at about 5 minutes. Let's head through and see what we're looking at. First off, no mess. Like to see that. Looky there! Alright. So, almost 3 stacks down here, 9 stacks up here. That's 12 stacks! Because math. We could make this faster if we wanted to by building the structure on every side of the portal. Man, if we had some form of mob farm in the vicinity that we could also be using... Wait, that we didn't just inadvertently dupe there, did we? It kind of looked like that jumped and then duplicated itself. Maybe. I think I've also kind of figured out how this works. I think I get the general principle. If the sand is falling and it gets hit by slime blocks that are moving, it launches them through the air, so they've still got sort of the gravity effect, but instead of going down, it gets launched like horizontally, right? Because it's already got the vertical gravity, then you horizontally launch it, and then it hits the ender portal frame, and because it's hitting it sideways instead of going through, like momentum sort of carries it, and it gets duplicated, but then it stays in the overworld. Does that make sense? That's how I assume it works. Well, I'm gonna let this run for a while, and when we come back in the next episode, we're finishing Dead Bull Island. Until then, thank you folks for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you later. Goodbye!